But here we go. Let's just use and abuse our quicker move speed here to absolutely kite these sons of guns into oblivion here. Or, you know, very slowly deal enough damage, whittle them down. But hey, we got there eventually. Love to see it. And there's Vaults 1. Nothing too scary at the end of the day. Pretty much an ideal execution, so hopefully that's a bit of a pattern that we can come to expect from this area, though I highly doubt it to remain so generous as we move forward. And Manifold Assault is now fully castable, so maybe I get rid of Summon Lightning Spire. Could get rid of Mephitic Cloud at this stage. Everything else we're still using with decent frequency here, so I think I will leave them untouched. Let's forget Summon Lightning Spire, shall we? And replace it with one Manifold Assault, please and thank you. Perfect. Oh, geez, hello there. Well, immediately start throwing in some Manifold Assault. We did get the unmovable, or inability to move due to miscast, which is not ideal, but comes off just in time for us to make some daring escape there. Perfect. And we'll just head over to a different stairwell temporarily. Yeah, and if there's any time to miscast Stormform, it's at least when I'm just sitting alone with no real danger whatsoever. Love to see it. Okay, and this is more of a full AoE kind of style, so maybe I should be using Conjure Ball Lightning just a smidge more. Because, oh boy, does it just absolutely annihilate and decimate our new friends here. Perfect. Yeah, 10 strength is pretty good. On your Felid run, you had 69%. Nice. Spell power Stormform, so 10 strength paled in comparison. Fair enough. Yeah, we'll see how this run continues to progress as we keep moving forward here. I think I will risk a bunch of lightning damage, seeing as how it does negatively impact all these sons of guns a heck of a lot more than it does myself. And perfect. One airstrike doesn't do much against Entropy Weaver. Just had to check for prosperity's sake, you know? Let's definitely take you upstairs, my friend. Perfect. And then there was that Convoker down below. And you know what? I am not going to stick around to wait to see what happens there. Let's just get the heck out of Dodge real quick. Hey, Dr. Pirate, how's it going? Hope your weekend is going well. Conjure Ball Lightning is something that is less good in Zot. Oh, definitely will have its, you know, good spots and bad spots. Still for Draconian packs, most things are relatively effective, so we'll see if we end up keeping it around just for such an occasion. Are you immune to electricity? Now that's a rookie mistake. Granted, I'm still slightly concerned as to how this will go for me, as made evident from the results there. Jeez Louise. Okay, so let's stop and think about this. Clowns don't have resistances, and CBLs block line of sight for pies, right? As long as they manage to catch those pies instead of my face, it definitely seems worth the trade. But okie dokie, we could go for just a regular spell blink here. Hope that we land somewhere nice. Could also... Could jump to this son of a gun. Is that any good? It puts us into a bit of a dead end, which is not great. I mean, we could Divine Exegesis. I don't really want to use Revivify in this situation because it does lower our max health significantly. So, you know, multiple uses of that on a cat is already going to be rough. For a real fun time, go with Conjure Ball Lightning and Servitor. Oh no. Jeez Louise, I can only imagine. Now that's quite the exciting party going on for sure. So it's between fear or potentially zipping out of here, which I still might die. So, let's go with the fear. Does seem to be effective enough for the time being here. I can blast some of these sons of guns. Okay, I need one more magic back. No, let's just get out of here and heal up, shall we? Servitor spams it hard. I can only imagine. It's definitely sounds like an exciting strategy, to say the least. On anyone other than Cat, I think I'd be super tempted, but as is, even with our electricity resistance, we're finding ourselves in some troubled water here every once in a while, so might have to save that one for a character that has a little bit more health, a bit more recourse. And now for you, my friend, we do the usual routine here. Let's blink, turn back to cat form, and bravely run away. Perfect. It's gonna be just a wee bit slow, and in fact, I could just leave you in the dust. Take our time to heal up and then re-engage here, and that seems lovely. Perfect. Or then Biel spawns at a bad spot, and you're left between a ball of lightning and clowns, and you're tanking balls of lightning in pig form. Less than ideal, definitely. We'll see. Again, I still have plenty of time before we get down to Zot itself, so I'm sure we will have lots to say and do in the meantime to get things sorted out here. Let's definitely just blow you sons of guns to Kingdom Come. Perfect. And that's a much nicer way of dealing with these sons of guns than what we were doing previously, so love to see it. Hopefully kill the Convoker, and we do manage to do so before they get their ability popped off. Fantastic. And let's just get back on the road here, shall we? After killing a decent number of new friends. And let's, again, just take some forward initiative there and take care of the scare sons of guns while we have the chance. Perfect. Wizards are another monster that I should potentially check to see what their banished chance is at. With 3 pips of willpower, I believe it takes it down to generally like 1 or 2%. So nothing to be too afraid of here. And perfect. OTR making nice work of the Ugly Thing pack. And you, my friend, blink towards me. That's a little bit odd for your standard behavior, I feel. Generally, they're blinking away in order to retain the distance needed for their lightning, but I mean, I'll take it, don't get me wrong. Let's just head straight for a stairwell, wait for the mark to wear off. Perfect, nothing too sketchy yet. So we'll, as always, see how things continue to progress, see how many friends the alarm trap have brought to us today. Definitely not too shabby at the moment. Perfect, and what have you got for me, Sif? Gardner's Vile Clutch. Interesting. I mean, again, I don't think we have the spell slots to really commit to it, but always a fantastic spell. And let's just get back on the road here. Servitor with Sticky Flame is fun times. Spellport servitors trying to touch enemies with flame is hilarious. I kind of forget that they can even learn those, like, kind of lower level spells. Can't imagine having Spellforge Servitor up and Sticky Flame being their only recourse, their only option. Oh, and let's check. 0% banishment. Okay, so even better than I expected. Love to see it. The Ektar Captain hoisted by their own petard there, taking their own bolt to the face. Love to see that even more so. And, oof, that's a lot of Centaur Warriors. This is where OTR can make very quick work of our centaur friends. But it comes with the caveat that I have to survive the first volley. Which is unfortunately easier said than done. I mean, Blink is fairly likely to take me somewhere good. Well, I'll be darned. That's not somewhere good. So what do I do with you kiddos, huh? Could aim for just one manifold assault to try and take them down. 16 damage cook for 5, 20 AC. Not terrible odds, all things considered. It's tough. I want to keep my last life, but I also don't want to use too many resources. I think I will healing potion here. Ends out as a net 0, it looks like. I also didn't seem to heal that much. I don't have any bad... No bad mutations. Interesting. Well, let's get killing. Oh, gosh darn it. That definitely ruins my day. Oh, because we don't have any cold resistance at the moment here. And we are also next to quite a few walls here. We have one blink scroll left if we chose to use it. Alternatively, we could Divine Exegesis into Death's Door and just try to murder everything quickly. Okay. Step up. We don't really want to run into the unknown here. Death's Door is still active, but I don't know for how much longer, unfortunately. 31% chance of paralyzing you, though. Don't mind if I do. And holy moly. Definitely got us out of a tricky spot there. Love to see it. But terrifying. To say the least. Okay, bring me to stairs successfully, please. Finally, breath of relief. Not too shabby. Gotta pretty much go out of one's way to go for it. Sticky Flames is a low priority spell for Servitor, so you gotta not have anyone memorized. Oh, exactly right. So it definitely seems like a rarity to say the least, because I know for my part, I generally have force learned a spell that I am in no way, shape, or form capable of casting, just so that the Spellforge Servitor can do it instead. Okay, my troll friends. Having some like mana regen might be nice. But I don't know if it's worth trading off from our necklace, which has definitely been doing a fairly good job at keeping us all together in one piece. But there we go. Finally turned back to regular cat form and can begin fully kiting these sons of guns. If the poison could actually gain a bit more of a hold there. Okay, finally killed one. Perfect. You know what? We'll just walk right past you. Never a doubt in my mind. You just have to have blind faith and run forward all 4 paws at a time. Perfect. 4 last spells for Servitor's priority list are Conjure Ball Lightning, Freezing Cloud, Mephitic Cloud, and Sticky Flame, or rather practical. Yeah, I didn't realize the cloud spells were on there, actually. That is very interesting to me. Definitely seems like a less than ideal use case. I mean, if you have full immunity to whatever they're slinging, then not too shabby at the end of the day, but definitely looking at some heavy amounts of collateral damage, no matter how you slice that. There we go, get some good damage on our lovely elephant friends, and perfect, not too shabby. And just about done Vaults 2. We did unfortunately use some resources on this side of things, so that was slightly less than ideal, but just picked up another Blink Scroll, which is absolutely huge. Still managed to retain our last life, or last extra life I should say as well, so that's fantastic. And so with that in mind, I think we will just go ahead and keep it schmoon for one more floor here and see how we do. Just blast you, my friend. Wizard, we take care of the old-fashioned way. Ooh, another extra life. Now that is fantastic to see. Let's definitely get poison built up on you, my friend. Oh, what the heck is even that? Let's blink out. Okay, unfortunately, blink does not work, so instead I'm just gonna have to murder you. I guess that works too, so that's fine. You usually rather boring and go for LCS instead of fun stuff? LCS or Iron Shot for you, Dr. Pirate? Oh, for sure. I mean, I do really enjoy Orb of Destruction as well, but it's a bit dangerous. Maybe that's why I like it, is because it comes with the completely realistic chance of you getting blasted by your own follower. Was this an insta teleport? I feel like this was an insta teleport. You were yanked towards a nearby monster. Indeed it was. Wow, how lucky of me. Oh geez, and that's quite the crew. Well, let's just try to get OTR pumping through on as many of you as possible. Not too shabby at the end of the day here. How did I lose more magic at the end there? Well, Warden Sealing Rune shouldn't do that. Wee bit strange, but I'll just blast you, my friend, murder you. And it is what it is. Who needs stairs up, eh? Just fight your way through any terrifying situation. Perfect. And slightly less than ideal circumstances here, but we managed to pull through so far. Perfect. Dr. Pirate, you've always been really unhappy with how badly the AI uses Orb and the potential downsides of it missing or hitting you. Oh, definitely. Whereas LCS and Iron Shot, it will spam like every turn. The AI just use it so efficiently. Well, especially LCS, right? Like that's been my biggest, or that's like the easiest way to kill Orbs of Fire in the late game is if you have Servitor and LCS. Even Iron Shot, I guess, is good enough on its own, really, at the end of the day. Because exactly, it's just so mana efficient, and they put down so much damage so quickly. It's hard to say no to that. In fact, that was very much on our mind at one point in this run as well. We were debating going down that route of things. Ended up going more so for our usual routine here, but I mean, it's definitely not too late at the end of the day to make that change. We'll have to see how it goes. How does Servitor work exactly? When you summon them, he casts random spells that you've learned. So he actually has, priority list of spells that they're able to cast. And so they'll go down that list top to bottom and cast the first spell that they're able to. So LCS is, I think, at the top, if not just very, very close to the top of that list. So if you know Lahudib's Crystal Spear, that's all your Servitor will cast. And so you can, looking at the list, kind of choose which spell you want them to be able to cast and target that way. You gotta wait for Orb of Destruction to reach its target. LCS does lots of damage now, for sure. So cast spells that have less than 50% failure rate, highest on its priority list. Less than 50% failure rate? Was that a change? Because that's not how it used to work. Because I always just learn LCS regardless of if I'm able to cast it. Doesn't matter, just let them. So unless that has changed recently to be that, I don't believe that that's a prereq, and I think that you can just use it. Jeez Louise. Or rather, they can cast anything that you have in your spellbook, which is fantastic. Okay. Blink is back. Let's try and blink one more time here. Less than ideal on you, my friend. Blink one more time. And again. Oh, geez. Not getting the best shots here. But now we have a nice limited cone here. It's been like that for a while, you think? You're pretty sure you have to have a castable success rate? Oh, hey, how about that? Well, that's good to know. I'm surprised that that hasn't come up for me. I guess I haven't been using Servitor as much of late as I used to back in the day, so that's fair enough. Or maybe I always just had spells at least 50% and I just was still not going to touch them. LCS at 49% failure rate is not castable from a human perspective. But that is definitely good to know for the future. You know what? Let us just read teleportation here. With just the ugly thing next to me, it's fairly decent odds that we get out of there in one piece. Fantastic. And then let's head for the stairs, shall we? Oh wait, there are no stairs this way. Right, because we got yoinked against our will here. So that's less than ideal. And we have friends. Perfect. Let's just quickly try to murderize all you kiddlywinks. Lovely. Maybe we hide out in this nice little cubbyhole. Not a recent change. You did not even know that it used to accept spells regardless of failure rate. I'm pretty sure, because it used to be a go-to move for me. Maybe I'm living in some kind of weird Mandela effect here and I've lost my mind. Definitely let me know, anyone who has definitive knowledge one way or the other, because I've definitely had a less than perfect memory for these things in the past, so I wouldn't exactly be surprised if that was the case. Let's also see Sentinel's mark is 5%, so that's what we got hit with just a bit ago. Not great chances, and yet absolutely blasted us for all we're worth. Oh, I've also been marked again by something. There must have been a trap somewhere while I was not paying attention. Whoopsie daisies. Bolt of Cold and Forest Lance are only in that list because of Frederick. Right, Bolts of Cold back in the day used to be player castable. Forest Lance I can't remember ever casting. Even Bolt of Cold, if I'm remembering correctly, was a long time ago. Bolt of Magma was relatively recent, but that was just the last surviving Bolt spell, of course. What's your range on your breath? 5? I'm gonna blink, risk it. We do end up being taken somewhere relatively okay. And let's just take our salamander on a little gander here, shall we? Or not. If they don't follow, that's great. Lightning Bolt is still surviving? I guess so. You know, I always put that in a different spell because it's not Bolt of Lightning. Or in a different genre, different category in my head, but it is pretty much identical to the other Bolt spells in every meaningful way, hey? How about that? Now Shock, you know, being a Bolt spell is not just having piercing effects that go through enemies. At the end of the day, there's also the power level and the nomenclature involved. So I don't know if I can give Shock the title, but I do see what you mean there for sure. Does have a lot of similar effects at the end of the day. But let's see. Let us blink out. Oh, twinsies. A little double blank action here. Interesting. But there we go. Lightning is enough to take you out. We'll wait for the rebound on the Death Knight to expire before slinging anything their direction. So once again, wait this one out. Why, hello there. Should be named Bolt of Shock. See, then I'd be on the same page. Unfortunately, the devs weren't thinking about that at the time. But nope, I'm not fighting Menace right now. That's interesting. I would say Vaults 3 might just be off limits for me for the time being. even if it's potentially possible for us to take that son of a gun, which I don't think it is. Oh, unfortunately, dang it, your after image isn't there. I really wanted to double check stat lines and resistances, but that's fine. We'll just know to probably never come back, and that's good enough for me. But if that is the case, where do we want to go here? Elf is going to be pretty straightforward. Again, lets OTR kind of shine to its fullest. Even Conjure Ball Lightning being unavoidable is pretty huge. So I think we will. I'm in desperate need of slightly better equipment. Some nicer rings would be pretty swell. / one nicer ring, because this son of a gun here is just fantastic, just beautiful. But Ring of AC is not exactly going to hold its keep into the late game. Plus Elf will give us nice experience while hopefully being relatively safe. So let's do that here. I should also maybe start training stuff once again. It's nice having unarmed combat in the high levels, but we need some backbone in order to survive long enough to make use of that here. So let's start thinking about that. MCC is only at 50%. Oh, far off. If we start learning conjurations, we can maybe bring out Servitor. After all this Servitor talk has gotten the brain juices flowing in that direction. I'm still very tempted for Dragon form just because, I mean, I'm a very simple man. And I would like the extra health. That's, yeah, 79 health. Storm form is not exactly ideal. It's not terrible. I think we can potentially make do, but ideally we don't have to make do and we can instead thrive, you know, thrive and survive. That's the dream at the very least. We do lose a lot of evasion, you're right about that. Still very vulnerable to things like Torment, for sure. But I think that that may just... Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Oh gosh. Whoopsie daisies. Let loose the dogs of war there for a second. My bad. There we go. That is a bit more like it. You should die immediately, my friend. Perfect. And keep it going. You'd be on board with Dragon form if it was a dragon cat, but the devs are obviously cat haters. You know, it's definitely a missed opportunity. Oh. Storm Dragon. Why, hello there, my friend. To what do I owe the pleasure? Not who I expected to see on this fine evening. I'm guessing that was a shapeshifter. In fact, probably that shapeshifter right there. Go get him, tigers. That is a pretty high hit dice shapeshifter. That is frightening. But hey, managed to turn into something killable at the perfect moment. You guessing? It'd shapeshift on screen. See, I didn't initially notice that in the hallway. I thought that it swapped places. And besides, you always say guessed. You know, you gotta make yourself seem smarter. Make it seem like everything was a Sherlock level deduction rather than just literally what happened in front of your very eyes. It's the secret to streaming. Which S branches have I had on this run? It was Swamp and Snake. Fortunately, done with both of those sons of guns. So it was definitely a wee bit of a sketchy time in our life. We try not to think too much about the dark days. Specifically looking at you, Snake. Always looking at you. But again, OTR definitely the MVP here, especially when a large chunk of these sons of guns are super evasive, especially as we get a little deeper down. That Knight is less than ideal. We'll drag them through the fire clouds. That was maybe not your smartest move, my elven friend. And here I thought elves were supposed to be nerds or something, but I'll take it. Building up our expectations of deductive abilities. Sounds like it could backfire. Nah. Never. Never a doubt in my mind. Lying to people has never ever caused any problems. It's not like there are multitudes of parables and full stories that exude that very life lesson. Let's not be ridiculous here. Lying good. Though in all honesty, I tried to lie very little in my life, largely for not the right reasons. It's not because lying is immoral or something that you should avoid. It's instead because one of my favorite book series involves magic that does not allow its practitioners to lie, and doing so removes your ability to practice said magic. And for that reason and that reason alone, I will never lie. Because I, of course, am also a magical wizard. You can riddle out for yourself if that could possibly be a lie. One of us always lies, one of us always tells the truth, and I'm the only one here, baby. Riddle me this.